Liberty women's basketball tips off the women's NIT Thursday at Villanova. Before we talk about that game, it's special significance to Catherine Carney here, but it's spring break right now, and it's kind of give and take. Obviously, you want to keep playing basketball regardless of what tournament it is when it comes to the postseason, but a lot of friends are doing the beach thing and whatnot, but you're still continuing your career, so that's got to be a cool thing.
Yeah, it's definitely the longer we get to play, the better for us. I mean, I think going into the season, we kind of expect to be playing, so to still be playing is a huge blessing.
That's part of the being of this Liberty program. You expect to be playing in the postseason. Obviously, the NCAA tournament's the ultimate goal, but WNIT, not a bad consolation prize. All right, don't want to talk much about Sunday. Tough double overtime ball game with Asheville. But we talked a minute ago about the sting wearing off and knowing that you still have basketball left. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah, that definitely helps. I mean, especially for the 5 seniors, any opportunity we have to put a Liberty jersey on and just play to glorify God is a blessing in and of itself. And then to play in postseason play, that's just even more of a blessing.
Before we get back to basketball, Catherine, obviously you've graduated, working on the Masters in Executive Leadership. How is that, the upper-level classes going for you?
They're going pretty well. Luckily, I've been able to spread it out kind of over 2 years, so I can definitely focus on basketball, but just have one class to finish up. So, I mean, it's been some more time to focus on basketball and kind of have fun in my last couple of months of college.
Well, congratulations on that. Let's throw basketball out of the equation. With that Masters in your undergrad, what do you see yourself doing in the next 6-7 months once basketball's over with?
Right now, not exactly sure, kind of waiting on Lord's direction, but I'd love to stay around basketball and college athletics somewhere. I mean, I think I really have a passion for the game, not necessarily coach, but just being around a team and like helping out a team in whatever way I can I just think that's where my heart is.
For you, final season of college basketball, how fulfilling has this redshirt senior been for you?
It's definitely been a lot of fun. I mean, the relationships with my teammates are huge, and just having this extra year with them and getting to play with the freshmen and just encourage them throughout this year has been fun. And then obviously, I mean, it's fun when you're doing well and the team is doing well throughout the season. It's really been a fun year.
All right, so the championship game of the Big South was Sunday. You guys knew that you were still going to be playing regardless of win or lose on Sunday. The bracket comes out for WNIT, and you see you're paired up with Villanova Thursday at Villanova. You grew up an hour from Philly, Monroeville, New Jersey. Your thoughts on getting Villanova in that first round, and personally for you, how cool that's going to be here on Thursday?
Yeah, it'll definitely be really cool. I mean, just all the connections. I have a couple cousins that actually go to Villanova, and I know right away my parents were blowing up our family group messages and everyone just coming to sport. I mean, that's just a huge blessing there, just have so many fans be able to come from my hometown. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, you have to share the story here, Catherine. Harry Peretta, who's the head coach, 38th year as the head coach at Villanova. Your mom played at St. Joe's against Villanova, and he was coaching. So he's going to coach against you and your mom, obviously, back in the day. So it's all come full circle. What conversations have you had with her about that?
It's definitely been kind of a neat connection there. I mean, it was Villanova and St. Joe's was always a huge rivalry when she played there, so it was a big deal. I mean, she's just had so many memories from playing at Villanova, and then now I get the chance to play there and play against the team coached by the same coach that my mom played against. So, like you said, kind of come full circle. It's kind of neat.
Speaking of coming full circle, Kerry Green, obviously your head coach here, first time he saw you play was at Villanova's gym. So has he shared any thoughts on the first time he saw you play, even though obviously it was more than 5 years ago, but have y'all had a chance to talk about that yet?
It's kind of funny. It's come up in the past. I mean, it's just neat that that's the first place he saw me play. I've played so many AAU tournaments there, and now to actually play a game there, and now he'll be coaching me, like you said, really comes full circle, and it's just a neat experience.
And a fun problem to have now. Obviously, classwork's done for this week for everybody, with it being spring break. Now you have to gobble up as many tickets as you can get. How much of a fun problem has that been for you yet?
I mean, I've already been asking almost every teammate, I think, can I have your tickets if you're not using them? And even last night, my dad was getting phone calls from high school teachers, high school coaches, asking how they can get tickets. I think he's already tried to call Villanova to get group rate on tickets. So I think Liberty will have a huge fan support base there at the game.
Now, Liberty a couple of years ago obviously played football there in the playoffs, and there was a huge crowd there. I would expect as many tickets as you're saying that's trying to get captured now. It should be a pretty healthy contingent Thursday with a lot of red in the building up there in Philly. So one game at a time. Good luck on Thursday, and hopefully we'll talk to you down the road, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Coach, a couple of days to prepare for the Wildcats. Obviously, things didn't work out in Asheville like we wanted to, but still, this team is playing in the postseason, so that's something to build on.
Yeah, we're certainly blessed that we're still playing. Most of the teams in the country are sitting home and watching at this point in time. It's not exactly what we wanted. We wanted NCAA, but we're still playing, and 5 seniors get to put on that Liberty jersey one more time, and hopefully several more times if we can take care of business. Excited for that, and we're looking at a very good, well-disciplined, and a very good, well-coached Villanova team.
How about going into a tournament like this? Obviously, you found out late Monday night who you're playing. I know some tournaments you have an idea of who you might see. I know you do, obviously, in the conference tournament down the road. But how about postseason tournaments after your conference playoffs? How does that work in preparation for that opponent?
Well, in NCAA and WNIT, you have committees, and there's certain criteria that both of them are trying to follow. And in this one, it is typically regional, and the trip to Villanova or even to play Villanova was somewhat a surprise because we had Elon, you had Virginia Tech, you had
Charlotte and Waker playing, yeah.
Yeah, and we assumed that, and it makes all sense for Virginia to go to Villanova, and they were sort of expecting that, and especially an hour and a half away. So with that said, I'm not very happy with the draw. We should have been playing in the regional area, and that opponent, whoever it is, VCU or others in this area, that's who we really expected. So somewhat disappointed, not with our opponent. They're great, but sure. Just how the dynamics of the brackets ended up panning out.
And you look at the matchup, Coach, 2 number 2 seeds finishing in their conference season. It should be a high-profile matchup on Thursday.
Well, they've got our respect, and they're a very good team, and we've got to be bringing a game. And I told our team, from this point on, everything is like a championship. Well, it is a championship game, and it's, again, another tournament game, and you're going to be playing high-quality teams from here on out.
Obviously, everywhere you go on the road, there's potential to have staff members and players that grew up close to that road game. And for you've got a handful of those. We just talked to Catherine Carney a little bit. So a lot of layers to her story, playing the game at Villanova. Her mom played at St. Joe's. And so that's kind of neat for her and some of the other girls to be able to play near, at least relatively near their hometowns.
Right. You even have Ashley from not too far away from Ohio area, but up north. And Catherine, I know, is certainly excited, and so is her family. And we hope she can channel that excitement, that energy into productivity on the floor. And she'll certainly be ready to play. And as we did reflect back 5 years ago, that's probably the first time I saw her play when she was young and played AAU there.
Well, how about for you and your team? Spring break this week, all you're worrying about is basketball. So what have you concentrated on the couple of workouts leading up to Thursday?
Well, there's probably more physical and psychological or mental perspective that we're looking at. You're geared up to win a championship, and you're 2 points off. There's depression.
Yeah.
You didn't get your goal. And so we have to get through that, and then be careful as well. We're doing a lot of ice tubs. There is some players that had a lot of minutes, in overtime, and Candace Leatherwood, and we have to be careful there. Today needs to be a good workout. Yesterday we had a lot that went up and down the floor because of didn't have a lot of playing time, so they got to be ready. You never know when, unfortunately, some accidents or injuries happen, like Sedalia Ellison went down. It just throws a whole different picture at the game plan. And At this point in time, we just need a good workout today, and tomorrow we'll work out and try to get that bitter taste out of our mouth of a loss, and just get back in the routine of things. We have like a 24-hour rule, and that means that if we lose, we're going to cry for about 24 hours and self-check and reevaluate some things and then move forward. And same thing if we're victorious. Let's just don't stick our head in the sand and ignore things that may have been ignored during the game, and it maybe even grow into something larger that would cause you to be less effective or unsuccessful next time out. And we're past that 24 hours. We need to go get work again, and we're going to start with video today and a good workout, and then actually tomorrow workout before we get on the bus.
Well, it's a relatively somewhat short trip to Philadelphia. I know football a couple years ago, a great contingent of Liberty fans showed up. I would expect the same on Thursday. Good luck against Wildcats.
Well, thank you.
It's Villanova and Liberty coming up. Postseason women's NIT tip-off at 7 o'clock. We'll have exclusive radio coverage with Jamie Hall on our student station 90.9 on Thursday. For more information on this ballgame and Liberty women's basketball, stay logged on right here to libertyflames.com.